House Party by Eric Walters, Chapter 2. I came back to my room carrying a tray holding 2 glasses of milk and 4 cookies. Jen was still on the phone with her mother. There was no question that I'd be able to sleep over. Jen's mom never said no to her. Jen said she hadn't heard a no from either of her parents since they had separated the previous year. Okay, sure, no problem, Jen said. I'll be home around 7. Okay, thanks. She put down the phone, looked at me, and smiled. It's all set. My mother said it was all right for me to sleep here on Saturday night. That's good. Then I can... Wait a second. Did you say for you to sleep here? She nodded. That wasn't what you were supposed to ask. I was supposed to sleep at your house. But that wouldn't be as much fun, she said. But my mother said you couldn't sleep here, but that I could sleep at your house. And that's why you're not going to tell your mother, or mine. But we can't do that, I protested. Of course we can. I only have 2 questions, Jen said. How many and who? What are you talking about, I demanded. Who do we invite and how many do we invite? Invite to what? Where? She smiled. To the party. This Saturday, right here at your house. But we're not having a party. My parents would never let me have a party. That's why we're not inviting them or telling them, Jen said. What they don't know, they can't object to. I can't do that, I said, shaking my head. Why not? My parents would kill me if they found out I was throwing a party while they're gone. First off, they wouldn't actually kill you. What's the worst thing they could do? Ground you? Take away your allowance? They could do that. Big deal. If they took away your allowance, I'd treat you for a couple of weeks. Besides, they're not going to find out. They're going to be hundreds of miles away, right? Yeah. No matter how loud we turn up the music, they won't be able to hear it from that far away. But somebody could tell them, I protested. Who? Your mother, for one. We just keep them away from each other for a few weeks, and by then it'll be done and past. How about neighbors? You told me your parents hardly know the neighbors. Besides, do your neighbors usually know what's going on inside your house? Of course not. Then why would this Saturday be any different? She asked. Nobody would know if we had a few people over, would they? I guess not. Besides, you hardly have neighbors. She was right about that too. Our street was on the edge of town, and our house was at the other end of our street. It was a dead end into a field, and our nearest neighbors were 2 properties over. It takes money to throw a party, I said. Pop and chips and decorations. No decorations. This isn't some lame kid's birthday party with balloons. We'll just ask people to bring stuff. Sort of a BYOB. You know, bring your own bottle of pop or whatever. That whatever scared me. It's Thursday night. Do you really think we can get organized and get our invitations out to people to come here on Saturday night? But that's 2 nights from now. But people probably already have things that they've planned to do, I said, trying to find another reason to defeat the plan. Maybe you could just change their plans, you know, the way we'll change our plans and not go to that incredible party that's being thrown by the football team. We're invited to a football team party, I guess? I didn't even know they were. They were having a party. I don't know either, Jen said. I felt all confused. But you said that. Don't listen to what I said. Listen to what I'm going to say. The reason we don't know about a football party is because even if they were having a party, do you really think they'd be inviting us? I knew what she meant, but I didn't know what to say. Have you been going to parties I don't know about, Jen asked. Of course not, I protested. I haven't been going to parties either. We're not invited to the A-list parties. Let's be honest, we're not invited to any parties. There was Melissa's birthday party. Yeah, and that was pretty exciting. 10 girls in her basement playing Twister and eating ice cream cake. Is that your idea of a party? I did like the ice cream cake, but I got the idea. To get invited to real parties with boys and beer, you have to invite people to your house first, she said. This isn't about one party at your house. This is about opening the door for other parties that we can go to for the rest of the year. I used to go to parties. I used to know everybody in the school, in the whole town, and everybody knew me. Here, I knew nobody, and nobody knew me. Aren't you tired of spending Saturday nights watching Saturday Night Live instead of actually living? She paused. Isn't it time we got a new life? I had a life. I really did. It just wasn't here. Were you lying to your mother when you said you weren't a baby? She asked. I'm no baby. You're 15. You don't need a babysitter. Come on, Casey. I know you're nervous about all this, but it could work. It really could. And a lot of things could go wrong. But we'll make sure nothing does. And if it does, we'll fix it. We can do this as long as we work together. I don't know, I said. Casey, this isn't just for you. This is for me, she pleaded. You've only been here a few months. I've been here forever, and I'm tired of being on the outside looking in. I want to be in. You are in, I said. Lots of kids like you. Lots of the wrong kids like me. I'm tired of being asked out by kids who play in the school. And you wouldn't go out with any of those guys. There were a couple of guys who were cute, and I liked one of the trumpet players. But what was I supposed to say now? You know, if your mother was going away, I'd throw a party myself, and you'd be the first person I'd invite. But my mother never goes away, and if she did, I'd have to stay at my father's. She paused. So, I don't know. You have to admit it'd be fun being on our own, right? I nodded. It would be fun. And it doesn't have to be big, just a few people. What harm would it do to have a few people over? I sighed. How about we get down to studying? I asked. I'll help with your homework on one condition, she said. I want you to think about this. You don't have to say yes, but don't say no. Just think about it, okay? I could think about it. And just think about it being a small gathering, a few people, maybe 8 or 10 or so. Not a party, just a small gathering. Would that be okay? I can think about it. I don't like any of it, but what harm would there be in thinking about it? And even if I did disagree, what would be bad about having a few people over?